Rule number 1. You shall have no other gods but me. God's identity, God's persona, is depicted by his ideology, his wisdom. And the only way that you can perceive him is through the light of the world, the word of God, the sons of man's prosperity and potential and purpose. Wisdom itself is your only means of addressing God, and you must choose wisdom. You must choose the light of the world. You must choose his ideology, not any ideology contrary, because, frankly speaking, he doesn't give a crap about your opinion. If you don't like him, you lose. Rule number 2, if you choose an ideology contrary to God, you lose. So you don't just lose for not choosing God, you lose for choosing something contrary to God in regards to an ideology or something that you thought would be worth trying to promote, or if you thought something was questionably worth promoting. Maybe you can promote something contrary to God. I don't know. Let's think about that. No, you lose. God hates you on account of that. Rule number 2. Rule number 3. You shall not misuse the Lord's name, and thereby you shall not say, God forgives me for my blasphemies. God forgives me for lying. God forgives me for being conceited. God forgives me for cutting grass with non-renewable resources and defecating in water. No, he doesn't. God forgives you for no blasphemy. Suggesting that blasphemy is forgivable as a blasphemous offense, you lose. Do not use the Lord's name in vain by suggesting he loves something that he does not, because you're accountable for yourself. He's not accountable for you. Rule number 4, you must honor the Sabbath day. Stop before, during, or after doing something stupid, because you will not be forgiven. God's going to spank your ass the old omni-science way with scorpions, snakes, and spiders, and old age, and death, and aneurysms, and cancer, and he doesn't like you, so enjoy your cavities. Go stub a toe if you need to fucking boost your moral emphasis on that. Take a freaking break before you do something stupid. Rule number 5, respect your father and mother, or your ancestors. Don't pretend you know something you don't, or pretend you do know something. No, don't pretend you know something you don't, or don't know something that you do. To present your bigoted ensemble and presentation as a means of arguing with someone or contesting someone, because your bigotry is not appreciated. When you disown yourself, God disowns you. You can have an aneurysm, go die. He's not going to go looking in the flames of hell for the guy that said, I don't even want to be me, I'm going to be someone else to make life difficult for someone else, when that doesn't even work for you, prick. So, rule number 6, do not commit murder. Atheists are already dead. They're walking zombies. You can't technically kill an atheist. The question is, do you want to invoke anarchy and the whole whatnot? Because what you're doing to your own brain by killing even an atheist, well, whatever. The murder is a big one, but don't promote anarchy, and we'll get into that maybe in another video. I should, probably won't. Okay, don't commit adultery. Don't facilitate the enablement of womanizers, drug addicts, perverts, criminals, capitalist whoremongers, social injustice, disease, pedophilia, in any way, shape, or form, neglecting your spouse or your offspring or your community, or creating... Don't facilitate any form of adultery or misogyny under any circumstance, or you're condemned to condemnation for all of eternity, and God will say, F you, motherfucker, you didn't appreciate my opinion, go burn in hell. So don't steal, don't sponsor capitalist whoremongering, criminal cartels, buying drugs, alcohol, booze, sports equipment, gasoline, destroying the environment. In no manner do you have the right to squander resources, specifically God's resources, which he uses to facilitate a food, clothes, and utilities economy. There's a whole, don't steal. It's not yours to take, and it's not yours to give away. It's not yours. Pull your head from your butt. Don't use false evidence. Yeah, that's kind of obvious, eh? Don't be a pretentious prick. If you think it's funny to be impudent, arrogant, insolent, or bigoted, or pretentious, you're condemned to hell. First, condemnation, poverty, and the whole whatnot, and screw you, you suck at everything. Rule number 9, that was. Rule number 10, don't be envious of other people. Don't feel sad for yourself, because God's better than that. It doesn't matter what happened to you. Perk up. God's the king. Don't be sad. But they have it, and I don't have it. Who cares? God's the king. You go, but I don't have it. Who cares? God's the king. If you don't love God, you lose. Rule number 1, God doesn't care what monetary value you've acquired or what health you have. Enjoy his ideology as a thing, because it's a world without blasphemy. A world without blasphemy. Now, you might have been the subject of blasphemy. So now you're weak, or you're poor, or you're diseased, or you're broken, or you're a victim of some consequence of doing or not doing something. But guess what? God didn't like any of that stuff, and it's not his fault that it's there. God is not accountable for the actions of a single human being that has ever existed since the beginning of time, ever, and he never will be. So, perk up, jackasses. Okay, and then so, those are the 10 Commandments, blasphemies. Now, if you deny the word of God by defecating in water, you're not forgiven for that, condemnation and death. If you waste the resources of the world, you've denied the light of the world. So don't go burning non-renewable resources to heat your house, or travel quickly because you think you're smart. Learn how to speak more than one language. If you don't care how to communicate with people, there's a good chance you just don't care about communicating at all, and so it's not worth communicating with you. Not to mention, it'd be terrible to find out how many different ways you've blackmailed the god of hellfire by telling him he's accountable for your actions, and if he doesn't show up and smarten you up and lead you by the hand, you're gonna get away with being a person that facilitates adultery or sponsoring capitalist whoremongering, or you're gonna be a lazy, neglectful boyfriend, or you're gonna just be a philanderer or a squanderer or a bigot, or you're gonna lie and manipulate people and not care about the consequences of the social injustice and condemnation. So, and then don't eat from the apple on the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the center of the Garden of Eden, because adultery is a blasphemous offense and testosterone causes menopause. Cats and dogs and snakes and goats cause herpes. Anything that you find at the zoo causes herpes. Bestiality, it's a blasphemous offense. If you don't cook pig, you get fucking tapeworms. Aside from the fact that you can't drain the blood from its meat, and the hormone-saturated animal meat will cause you menopause and all different other forms of metabolism, immune and physical anomalies, which are negatives. So basically anyways, maybe we'll come back to this. I hope someone asks something about it. And in the meantime, did you notice I'm wearing a woman's blouse?